Hello and welcome to another beautiful episode of Memoir of a Naija Girl. How are you? So many things happening in this Nigeria, good and big. I don't know how to take it in, but let's stop today to talk about parental neglect. Your father is getting married to someone else, and then he says, don't. The new wife starts to say, I don't want to see your child, or sometimes then starts misbehaving and not treating the child equal. Then sometimes men would say, they know that you have your child before they got married to you. All of a sudden, after marriage, you hear, I don't want you to bring your child to my house, to the new house. And parents, like for me, I'm thinking, when is the time for you to think, am I going to choose my husband or my child? Or am I going to choose my wife or my child? This episode, guys, it's very common. I know you know. Even inside your church mind, you know. I mean, you know someone who this has happened to before. So we're going to be talking about this today on Memoir of a Naija Girl. My name is Helen. And my guest, guys, you choke, you say you choke. So I have with me Abiola Adebajo. I'm not going to, you just let's continue, yes, let's get into it today. Yes, I have with me Abiola Adebajo. How are you?
Thank you, I'm fine.
This your traditional outfit is giving.
Nah, so.
You share everything you should actually give. How are you?
I'm very well, I'm fine.
See. Yeah, of course, you even look very well. So
I do.
Let's get into the business of the day.
Yeah,
what
let's
do you think? So, I'm sure that you've heard of situations where, should I start with women or should I start with men?
Let's start with women.
Okay. You hear, okay, you tell the husband how I have a child, because I'm sure that before marriage you start to court. So during that process where you're getting to know each other, the woman knows that the husband has a child from a previous relationship or marriage, right? But you come to the house after marriage and now you are an actual Mrs. Then you start to see the new unveiling of behaviors. In a situation like that, what should the man do? At what point do you choose your wife or do you choose your child?
It's quite a difficult situation. First of all, I feel that men especially should be very careful. I mean, they know that they have a child. I think that of course, it's something they would have really discussed about. Okay, we're talking about women first, Abby. Okay, yeah. So the woman knows she has a child. Definitely, for the man to marry her, it means that the man already accepts that, okay, we have a child. Yeah. It's not a matter of your child. It's we have a child. Do you understand? So I feel that it's something even if after marriage, one begins to behave somehow, it's something they can still talk through. Of course, the wife is very important, so as the child.
Right.
It's something they should, it may take time, but at the end of the day, they have to just find a balance.
Sometimes also for women, because we are jealous people, jealousy is set in, but I asked you for something yesterday and now your child just asked you for something and you're giving it to the child. There is need and we have wants, but sometimes you want what you want. You know how that is. And the relationship you have with someone who doesn't have a child is different. You can't compare a single dad and somebody who doesn't have any of that responsibility. So how do you now merge love and jealousy? I don't know if you can merge both, but how do you differentiate that? Okay, this is your place and this is your place.
Man, I still feel that, I was going to say something earlier. It has to do with character. That's why I was going to say that men should be careful. I think likewise women, they both have to be careful in choosing from the beginning, because I'm sorry, it's most common amongst women. I'm not being, what's it called? I'm not being sentimental here. Right. It's most common among women. They just want to, they want what they want. They are concentrating on, let me just enter first. So that's why I would say that men should be very careful, in choosing. I mean, when they know that they have a child, they have to be very careful because they definitely want to get in first before they start to show their color. Do you understand? So basically, one has to be very careful in choosing. I mean, you have to be sure that this person truly, loves not just you, but also your child, the child that you have already, so that there won't be, stories that touch their heart. But when there are stories that just touch their heart, I mean, it's quite a difficult situation. But I will still say that they have to talk things through, because you cannot abandon your child.
And you cannot abandon your wife.
Of course you can't. Of course you can't.
So let's take a quick break to get one or two things sorted. So we're talking about parental neglect. And this is not something that just affects the women. It's also something that affects men, And sometimes we undermine what men actually go through in our society. Like, yes, we get it that you say men are the hero. I don't know. Men are men, women are women, and we're not comparing now. So sometimes women also make their men go through things. And men also make the women go through things. So I think sometimes even this bad behavior, it doesn't even have to do with any gender. It's something that both people...
Well, I have a question. Where do you think, I mean, is it most common among men or women? I mean, child neglect. Would you say the men actually neglect their child more than the women?
From my point of view, I would say men neglect more.
I feel so too.
Than women.
I feel so too. So let's talk about men.
Because some, I have so many examples. Look at the way we caress Mother's Day, for example. How many Mother's Day do we have? Like 15.
No, just 2 now.
We have so many Mother's Days, and you wonder how many. But we can't stop appreciating our mothers because our mommy, we are really nice people. But men go through their things, and also women go through their things. But today we're talking about the parental neglect. At what point do you pick your wife, or at what point do you pick your child or your husband? So men also. Why? The woman has a child before you got in with her, and then now you want her to go and keep her child with one neighbor, with one family. Why?
Well, I'm not going to answer for the people that do such. I wouldn't do it.
I'm sure that you've heard of situations like that. It's something that probably somebody in your family or extended family has done before, and you wonder why. I mean, you have 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms. You're not going to sleep in the 2 rooms.
Yeah. It even starts from accepting the child. If you're not accepting the child and looking at the child as your own, you probably wouldn't even think of the room that you have the child will actually occupy. So it starts from accepting and loving the child like your own child. And it's I don't know, it's not rampant like that. I mean, when I see a man that really accepts a child that is not his, I really impressed. I get to be impressed and happy that something like that is happening. But it's more rampant that they probably don't really accept the child like their own, especially amongst men.
Do we say people like that are selfish people, or it's just?
Well, I think it's just a character thing.
Single guys sometimes say, I can't marry somebody that has given birth before.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. You can't marry somebody that's given birth before. People live abusive marriages.
How many men have you seen that actually got married to a lady that has a child before? Have you really seen?
It's not a lot. Because even me that I'm here, I'm sure that if somebody brings a child, because we are all hypocrites.
If you're a man.
Like if my brother brings a woman home and you're like, oh, so you didn't see somebody that doesn't have a bag to marry. It's something that we do, and I know everybody's like, I don't do that. No, you do that. Listen, you do that.
But come to think of it, when you're going to the other side now, like when it comes to women accepting a child of a man, it's almost no problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's almost no problem here and there. But the other way around, it's different. It's a different
women are ready to marry a father of 2. But men, especially when you now have maybe different dads, Can use the tissue, just to wipe the face.
Okay.
When you now have different dads, like, oh, if she was not promiscuous, how come she has kids by different daddy? Why can't one man give out the babies? Like,
permit me to speak Yoruba here. How does a woman have one here and one there? And is he coming to marry another one? How far now?
Yeah. Well, if men are that good, I don't think the women would. I don't think it's something that you would say, oh, I wake up.
A lot of times, actually, the women. Well, I used to think that. I used to think that.
Yeah.
I feel that a woman can still, man sọ pé obìnrin ló máa ń tolé. It's the woman that actually, builds the house, holds the house together.
But it takes two to tango, though.
It does. But a good woman knows how to handle whatever kind of man.
This is speaking about as well. Yeah. If the husband puts his head, if you put your head down, they will be able to do it. But a man who wants to be here or there, like, you will continue to see beautiful girls, beautiful
and at the end
women.
of the day, the woman now says, "Oh no, I'm not doing it again," and she leaves.
What do you want?
She goes to another place. The man behaves like that too. She leaves.
So would you rather she stay in a relationship where they will come and give her some?
Well, if it's not for me, or if it is not violence,
you should not leave. Actually,
it's difficult.
Do you know something? Your friend, Bero, thinks women should not leave their marriages, no matter how tough it is, even
in violence. No.
But today we're focusing on child neglect, but these are things that goes hand in hand. You know? Why do you? Because when you're talking about a family, it's not just about the father and the mother. It's about the kids, the stepkids, the nieces, the nephews. It's a whole lot. Love, upbringing, betrayers, and things like that. And then you are saying that, oh, you should not leave your abusive husband. Are you?
Well, sometimes the woman too can be abusive.
Right.
Okay, so the man has to leave. I mean, if the abuse is persistent and consistent, please leave. Maybe a mistake happened and it's something subtle that, the person is now very, repentant, and it probably doesn't happen. I feel there should be a chance
after punches.
No, maybe not.
Just
like
one.
You.
Just one.
But I feel that there are mistakes sometimes. I mean, the woman may have really provoked and bring out the beast in the man.
Listen, guys, this is not saying that we're not making excuses for abuse. I
am not making excuses for. I mean, I said it earlier that if it is abusive, please leave.
Okay.
And when I say abusive, I mean it is abusive. It has become abusive. You can say that it is abusive. Do you understand? Maybe something happened and it's a mistake. He has not done it before. He's not even the type that can do it. And you may even register your displeasure somehow and make him suffer for it, make him really repent and all that. Because it's a marriage, it's an institution, especially when it has children in it. I mean, I don't think it should just break like that.
Okay.
If it is abusive to me means that it has become almost like a norm. It has become normal, like the person is actually abusive.
Well, abusive to me means so many things, so I'm not going to get into that because
so it means that maybe a mistake happened and it is already abusive, and you should condemn it.
No matter the provocation, you should not get to that point where you start,
I know
hands,
that. I know. I'm not, like we said earlier, we're not making excuses for abuse. It is standard. Abusive marriage, it is a no-no for me personally. But at the same time, I respect the institution called marriage a lot. Do you understand? It's not child's play. Right. It is a forever thing. It is a together thing. It is something that, of course, there are the down times. It is not a bed of roses. Mistakes happen. But in fact, I mean, it's as good as what's it called? When probably the woman cheats or the man cheats, something gets to happen that one has to, Do you understand?
Well,
you don't understand.
I'm trying to understand because I know that men don't really forgive their cheating wives, and women.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Women don't.
It's as difficult as maybe the man made a mistake and slaps the woman.
Okay, so let's take a very quick break because we need to clean our faces.
Yeah, sure.
Because we are sweating. You know, when Arasta says, "You the rush, you the rush," this is exactly what she meant, guys. Also, as much as we're talking about the parents, let's also talk about the kids.
Yeah.
The child that doesn't belong to you, or that you are not the one who birthed the child, is actually dicey when it comes to talking to them, when it comes to training the child. Of course, the child has a mother or a father, and you're like, okay, I don't want to be in that mess where somebody feels I'm shouting too much. What is too much when training another person's child?
Well, my own opinion, I mean, if I were in that shoes, I see the child as my own. What exactly I would do to my child, I would do to the person. Do you understand?
Looks like exactly? you are very modern day daddy.
Well,
you're not like the traditional Damilare that is here and saying otherwise. We're gonna hear his voice, but he has to talk.
Whatever it is that I want to give to my child, I give to that particular child as well because it's mine. Right. Do you understand? So whatever discipline I can give to my child, I also give to the child. Do you understand?
If you give the child too much, somebody somewhere will come and say, you are beating that child too much.
And let the person come and take the child.
There was a video I actually saw on Instagram of a man, I think he has a baby mama. So he went to his baby mama's place and he bought food for one child. Meanwhile, this woman has 4 kids. So the woman is like, why bring just one food for your own child? You should know your child has siblings. And people are like, is he the father of the child? Why can't the father also bring burger for?
So one has to be careful. I mean, if a person like me, I'll have to buy 5 burgers. Really, that's me.
You are sounding very nice, Abiola. I don't like it.
I mean, from my own point of view.
Relationship you have with the woman. If the woman is a very nasty person, would you do that?
So I'll bring something for my own child alone. Maybe if I have to do that, maybe I'm saying that I can't carry my face there and go and give my own child stuff when there are other children. I mean, I have instances. I have experiences. Well, once I took my child to somewhere for holiday, and I want to buy something for my child, I buy for all of them. Okay. Do you understand? I buy for all of the kids there. I think it's the same thing I would do if I have, someone else's child.
Kids and everything.
Step kids, exactly.
You see,
that's it.
This topic, I've seen a lot and I've heard a lot. I like to communicate with people, and you hear, I'm not going to choose. I don't know if I would say I would choose my husband or I would choose my child. But if I'm in a position where I have to choose one person, if you're in a position to choose one person, who would you choose?
I said it earlier, it's really difficult.
Who would you choose? Don't do the political thing for us. Just who would you choose?
Who would I choose?
Don't look at the other side. Just say it. Just say it. Don't look at that side. Just say it.
Well, I don't know because I love them both.
Right.
Do you understand? I mean, I would, like I said earlier, I have to find a way. We have to be in the middle. We have to find a way to resolve it.
Compromising is very hard. In situations where the love you have for your wife is different from the love you have for your daughter or for your child or for your son, and then knowing that the child I brought this child to the world, not even 18-year-old, can't fend for himself or herself. There are so many things that you have to look out for. So I have a friend who has a situation like this, and then he says, I love my child, I love this woman. I don't know what to do. I don't even know the right time to tell my child that I have...
Seriously, I was going to say that earlier too. Okay, let me ask you the question. You have a child and you have a husband. Like, your child, your husband. If you had to choose one, which one would you choose?
I hope that my husband will choose me. And I hope that...
Other than his child?
No, I won't say other than his child, right?
His child that is your own child?
That's not my own... His child is my own child.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. No, not step. No. I'm just saying, like,
I will not be choosing anybody in here.
That's what I'm saying.
It's my child.
Why, I said earlier that for me it's the same. I'm going to strike a balance. That is why, just like you can't choose now, I can't choose.
But in this situation, we're talking about step kids.
Yes.
Right. So if my partner, for example, has a child and I'm like a stepmom, what I would do is I love to communicate. And I understand what it is like to not have both parents in the same roof, even though my parents are together, right? But I know how these things work. I feel like I'm patient enough, even though sometimes you think I'm not patient, but I'm a very relaxed person. I'm very reasonable. So I would talk. So whatever comes out of my partner's mouth, I will take it. See, there are times that you would have a conversation. Am I going to stay or am I leaving? Is there a place for me here or there is no place for me?
This is it. My opinion, my idea, my what I'm trying to advocate for is a situation where you, for instance, you have a stepchild and you have a husband. Now, when there's a situation and you have to pick one of the two, you're not choosing your husband. That's what I'm talking about. Neither are you choosing the child. You are striking a balance. You can't say, okay, I choose my husband because the child is not yours. Okay. I'm talking about a situation where that child is actually seen as yours. Do you understand? Right. I mean, in as much as you cannot choose out of your husband and your own child, it should be like that for that child that is not yours.
But sometimes, as we said earlier, these kids, they can misbehave.
In as much as your child also can misbehave.
But it's common sense, because a child that is yours, I can easily tell my child, this is the way it is. You have to accept this person. This person is your mom. Although you have your own mom, but this person is also your mom. And I'm not saying I wouldn't love you. I'm not saying I wouldn't be there for you. I feel like this conversation here, there is a way. Some people always go to that psychology to ask, what should I do so I don't offend my wife, so I don't offend my child. So what to do? This person is your person, but there will be laid down rules, I assume. There will be laid down rules. But in Nigeria, this Nigeria that we are, they will just tell you, I don't want to see your child in this house again. A 4-year-old, then you start saying that the woman will start saying, please, can my child start living with you? This is a child that literally grew up with 2 of them. All of a sudden, you have to separate. Also, I was watching, and I did an episode about it, this Nelson episode about the Danish killer, the Danish man who killed his Nigerian wife and daughter. So the man is in prison, and the journalist was talking to him. He said, I met my wife in a bar in Nigeria, and she told me she was 12-year-old when our parents chased her, where her mother and her stepfather chased her out
of the house.
So the husband probably feels, okay, I don't want to see your child again. The woman, maybe you're already pregnant with another child. Now you don't, as you said, you don't want to have child by 2 or 3 men. So you leave this husband, you go to another one with 2 children. So we don't know how true the story is, but that was what the guy said. And
the guy that killed the lady. Imagine what becomes of him now. Imagine how he grew up. Imagine
how the woman grew up. The woman grew up in the streets by herself, because our mother and her stepfather chased her out of the house.
Oh, I see.
So it's a valid point to say neglect, because that 12-year-old, what do you know? Okay, at 12 years old, what can I couldn't do anything for myself, you know. So I don't have any parental guideline or bringing to say, oh, this is what is right, this is what is wrong. In a situation like that, what to do? And then the man says, I met her in the streets. If you want to call her a prostitute, which is what normal people would say in Nigeria, I have no problem with anybody calling anybody a prostitute. Like,
really?
Like, yeah, I don't have any problem with that. Do you?
I don't.
And then you say, I met her in the street, she was this, she was that. You neglected the child for since she was 12. Neglect, I think it could actually affect you in so many ways.
So many ways.
That we don't even understand what we've done to our kids.
I think that's why we are having this discussion. In the first place, neglect is not a good thing. Yeah, it's not. I mean, so far, what becomes of such is, you know, a whole lot of things.
I don't know if I should also use this example. A popular singer in Nigeria, a female singer, she also talked about a mother, you know, divorced, or her mother left her father, something like that, got married to another man, and this man was abusing her.
Abusing her, yeah.
You know,
I saw that.
Having sex with her and everything. And then, or raping her, because saying sex is what adults do.
Yeah.
You can't have sex when you are 6-year-old and somebody that is older is having, you know. So she said, she told her mother, and the mother simply did not believe her. Because saying, I don't want to lose my home.
So at the end of the day, I feel that it's something that neglect is something that we should really speak against in the society generally. It's something that we should try to, you know, advocate for some kind of balance. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, what becomes of the child? What becomes of the child? So another thing, I mean, it's related to broken marriages too. Because at the end of the day, it is broken marriages that gives birth to such neglect. So I mean, if you're going to be in marriage, know what you're doing. Know, you know, from choosing, you know, choose someone that you are sure that you're very much in love with, and you know, maybe I think it has to do with character, Sha. A lot of times when they are broken marriages, it's probably about one of them misbehaving, and it's character, basically.
But no matter the broken marriages or relationship, if a child is involved, I don't think you should now neglect the child.
True.
You know, yes, the marriage didn't work, but that was your sperm, that was your head. You know, it's like, for me, you know, I have so many things to say on this, but somehow you're not trying to use all the words, because I don't want to use all the adjectives in my mouth, because I'm going to use foul words.
I get it.
And I'm trying not to do that. But the marriage didn't work, the relationship didn't work, that's your child. You know, and you still have to look after the child. It's easy. Now this, I feel like the way we're saying it makes the whole thing easy. But in real life, this is real life situation. You know, where people like Daria are saying they will not marry somebody with children. And where people are Daria doing like, oh well, you know, I'm not sure.
So
would you marry somebody with kids, who have kids?
It has to do with love for me. For me, it has to do with love. If I really do love the person, and the person is of good character. Character is something
what is character? Because you keep mentioning character.
It's something I cannot. I mean, I feel that if a marriage is working, check that marriage. At least someone there has good character. If not both of them. Do you understand? You can almost say that the marriage is safe if both of them have good character.
Right.
And you know, it will go a long way if one of them is, you know, well equipped when it comes to character and you know, virtues and all that.
Character
is very important.
Character is important. I think it is for me as well.
It is.
And it's not just that. I like men.
I mean, the reason why you would probably have neglect is still that same character. Do you understand? Because where are we going at the end of the day? Neglect is bad. It's bad for the in fact, it's even bad for the parent.
So you know, what if the other, let's say like the father, or you know, the stepchild, the father is now coming in. You know, you don't want the father in the picture as well. You know, sometimes maybe if the mother is in the picture or the father is in the picture, then it's very problematic.
How?
Because sometimes they tend to control the child and use the child against, you know, to ruin the new relationship.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
You know, so how do you even put your ex in his or her place?
I understand that.
It's this topic. I've thought about it and I was like, okay, what to do in this situation? My husband, do I want to leave my husband? Why should I? Because of my child. Do I want to leave my child? No. Yoruba will say olefi Can you construct call? You can't use somebody else to do your husband. Somebody you like, you really like them. Somebody you don't like them. But and it's very hard, especially for single mothers in this country, to find a reasonable man.
You're right.
They will start hearing after one, Lele. What is after one? Joe, what is after one? What is that? But we don't say after one for men, no. Have you heard somebody call a man after one?
No. No.
But Uti marry but
still good looking, he still has money, he still,
It's a fine, but to be only more. But a woman, even sometimes when you see women who have saggy boobs, you say, to be more, and sometimes they don't even have kids. And then there's so many things that could make women have saggy boobs. They're like, no.
Some even have naturally. It's just their thing.
They have to be after one. I don't know what is after one.
But like I said about character, someone
like character.
Okay, so imagine someone that has a child, but it's still like, it's obvious that this person is just the best person for you.
Right.
Do you understand? You don't have a choice, and the child is even adorable and all
There's
that.
so many never say nevers, like I will never marry somebody with kids. So if you have 2 kids, that one is even worse.
I know, but
I hate it for us.
Yeah.
The society. Sorry, you're rushing with the sweat. See, this country is showing everybody shaking. Even if you have money to buy NEPA, they will not give you light. Even if you have money to buy petrol, your generator will not carry your air conditioner. Hey God. So
we're in Nigeria. Welcome to Nigeria.
Nigeria where everything works.
You go better.
But women don't even get 50-50 even after divorce in Nigeria.
You go better. Helen, who are you voting for?
Let's see that we should
another discussion for another day.
But seriously, see this election. It's a do or die affair.
It is.
Is it not?
I think we should just give ourselves brain in this country. I cannot say that on camera.
But you have to.
I'm a businessman.
Oh well, even though
I'm working for.
Daya, what do you think about the topic, the neglect?
Okay, so I was going to interject about it being
be audible.
As much as I'm trying to
come.
Listen. As much as the conversation we're having off camera.
Right.
As much as I'm trying not to use that example, I'm also trying to say it in the best of ways. Neglect is something it would be hard to heal from it in a very long time.
Right.
Especially when it has to do with a child.
Yeah.
If it's spouses neglecting each other, it can still be worked on.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a child, father neglecting the
son or daughter,
or mother neglecting the child, it is hard on the child. For years, the child might not be okay. Forever.
Forever.
Self-esteem.
Absolutely.
All sorts. Stigma.
I should just say, for me, I would use the word example for years. For like 10 years. Yeah. I wasn't myself. I wasn't depressed, but I just wasn't myself until I could finally say, like now I could talk about it. Until I finally say that, it's not
it is what it is.
To be ashamed of. It is.
And it is not your fault.
Well, it just happened.
Yeah.
So until you get to that point, you just have to leave it.
But before you get to that point,
well,
that's what we're talking about.
Even though
that line where this is the point it happened, and this is the point where you're healed. That space, it's a crazy moment. The child would not. I always say that most of these thoughts or people we have outside as a result of neglect. Because if you actually look after your child very well, even the scripture that says train up your child doesn't mean you have to train and just leave. You have to train and
be
also
present.
Be there to see what you're training. Well, neglect is what it is.
It is what it is.
Brother, So what do you say? Are you still saying that one? You're doing off, you're off. Because you know what you said. Even though, and James, do you have anything to say? Okay, James is saying no today because he doesn't like emotional stuff. God.
So Helen, I actually have a child.
Oh.
And the marriage that brought about the child is no more. And I don't know, I think everybody knows how much I love my child. Like, I love my child so much. Yeah, so definitely the person coming in will obviously love the child as well, because she can see what is on ground. Do you understand? So I don't, I don't foresee any kind of problem. Do you understand?
I do.
So definitely, I mean, I want to encourage people to, I mean, neglect is really bad. It's not good at all. It's not good for the child. It's not even good for your image.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So, I mean, it's something that we should really speak against in the society. People should embrace their child. And as much as you are in another relationship, you have a child already.
Yeah.
Do you understand? In as much as you have accepted the woman or the man, the person has a child that you also should embrace
And love.
Like
yours.
That's just it.
Guys, parental neglect is a thing, and I hope that we are all going to stand against it and not say, oh, this person has a child and we have to condemn them. Life is already so tough for all of us that we should start you are not Jesus. Gloria, use your head. We're not Jesus. Love everyone. The kids need us. The world needs the kids, and we need each other. So you don't know, just do what you have to do and be kind. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much, Abiola, for being a wonderful guest on today's episode.
My pleasure.
Don't forget, Memoir of a Nigeria Girl is available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. Go and subscribe, like, share, tell your friends, frenemies. I'll see you next week. My name is Helen.